I saw you on television. To be able to be recognised by somebody in the streets, and I owe all that to, of course, Jerry Bryant and JBTV. When I first met Jerry Bryant at JBTV, I believe it was in 1990, and if I remember right, I'm sure it was my second trip to the United States.
Well, here it is, Michael Charles on JBTV. Then we're going to be back with more live music right here in the studio.
My management at the time told me that I had this television appearance to do at JBTV Studios, and the host was Jerry Bryant.
I've heard all your tunes and the CD. Now I'm going to show everybody this. Michael Charles is his name. The CD is Hard Days and Long Nights, and the song Pain and Misery. That's going to be your big hit tune. So as soon as you get the video out, I want to play it first here on JBTV, okay?
So I went to Buddy Guy's Legends, and I was just hanging there at Buddy's for a couple of hours instead of just hanging in my hotel room. And George Bays walked in.
So today we have the ultimate blues people here, and you're from Chicago. What's your name?
My name is George Bays.
I met George when I first came to the United States earlier on that year.
You're going to play some live blues for us, so do what you want. This is your program here on JBTV.
I said, well, I've got to do this television show in the next couple of hours, so I'm just killing, instead of sitting in my hotel room, I'm just killing some time here at Buddy's. Just looked at him and I said, hey George, why don't you come in with me, hang out. I've just got to do a short interview, maybe play a song. I'm not sure what the arrangement is, but I'll walk in there and we'll see what's required. So I said, man, if you want, we can do a song together. George said, in the way George was always Mr. Cool, yeah, why not? I get there and I ring the doorbell, and Jerry Bryant answers the door himself.
I'll be ready with the mic. Whenever you feel right, I'll just push it right in there and do it. Here it is on JBTV, the Blues Oasis.
And I had no idea who Jerry Bryant was. I never met the man, so I didn't even know, who he was. And he goes, oh, you must be Michael Charles. And I said, yep, sure am. And he goes, I'm Jerry Bryant. We had this little combo Marshall amp that we had two inputs. So that's what we plugged our guitars into, and so George's roadie just set up the amp for us, and we sat there, and Jerry says, "Oh, just do a little sound check," and there was a camera in the corner of the room, and he just turned that camera on, and I could see it was going. The camera was on, and I saw tape started to roll. And he goes, just do a sound check. So George and I just started jamming like we always do, like no different than if we're playing a gig somewhere. And we sort of stopped the sound check, and I saw Jerry just walk in. He had this microphone in his hand, his famous microphone. I've done 4 shows with him, and he's always had that same microphone. And he walks in and he just starts talking. He just started introducing this show.
This is great. So anyhow, you're watching JBTV from downtown Chicago, and this is a unique program because this is the JBTV Blues Oasis, and whenever we bring you this program, we get the most viewer response.
He introduced us both, and he said, just play something. Off you go. It's your show. Do whatever you want. So George and I just kind of looked at each other and went, okay. So we just started to jam on a little tune, and we just kept going and going. And I looked at George. I still remember just looking at George, and I kind of gave him a little nod, and that was one of our signals that we had, because George and I had already done a fair few gigs together. So we had these little secret signals. So I gave him his little signal to tell him start singing something.
I don't want no woman if her hair ain't no longer than mine. I don't want no woman if her hair ain't no longer than mine.
We finished that song, and Jerry was on the ground. And he goes, well, this is an impromptu television show. This is what it's all about. Something like that.
Yes.
Hey, that's great. You're watching Chicago, JBTV, and I'm Jerry Bryant. I'm just laying here on the floor because this is an impromptu blues show. Isn't this the way it's supposed to be?
He said he wanted to introduce us, so we started talking with me, then he talked with George. And he said, you feel like doing another song? And we said, yeah, sure.
That's real blues. I tell you, that's real blues.
We ended up playing for a good hour and a half or something.
Yeah, I'm honored to be sitting here on the floor like this. Let me get up here. This is probably the weirdest show you've seen on television, but this is the blues, and I guess anything can happen when you have the JBTV Blues Oasis, huh? So you having fun here on JBTV?
Right, great. It's good
Maybe
fun.
I should move the camera around. You think I should do that and get some more shots of you while you're playing? But then I can't hold the mic. You know, we didn't expect.
No, we're doing fine.
Yeah, this is good. So this is, you want to do more? You want to talk? What do you want to do? This is your show.
I looked at Jerry. I never forget. I looked at Jerry and I said, well, I guess we've got enough. All you wanted was a song and a small interview. And he looked at me and said, I guess I've got a show now.
From Chicago, this is JBTV. Stay tuned. We have more music coming up.
He edited the whole recording that we did, and he made a show out of it, and he named it Blues Oasis. And that's how I met Jerry Bryant. If it wasn't for Jerry Bryant, I wouldn't have had that big kickstart in Chicago. He's the man with all the answers to all the questions when it comes to music. And he's very, very well respected in Chicago, and I'm sure all over the United States by now. Jerry was a big influence to me because I've always had this ambition inside me, not just to be the best musician that I could possibly be or work at. I always liked to experiment with different ventures. Like I always liked to be very involved with my recordings. I loved the idea of back then, I loved the idea of owning my own recording studio one day, just seeing what Jerry had done. But he was very inspirational to me because he, no matter what, good times, bad times, like I said, he always had a smile on his face, and I never saw him, myself, I never saw him angry. I'm sure he probably got angry in a dark room somewhere, but around people, he was always with a smile on his face.
Give me half a chance and I'll take my luck for a long one. So tell me what you need and I'll do my best to get one.
In the early 90s, I did that first appearance, I believe it was 1990, and then I got asked to come back and do a second show, I believe it was 1993. The first time I played at JBTV, I was pretty much trying to fit into the music scene in Chicago and the United States, because I was, pretty much fresh off the boat from Australia. So I was a little bit uneasy with everything. I wasn't really comfortable.
And this show, this hour, has the blues greats from Australia, the one, the only Michael Charles. How you doing?
Okay, how you doing? JBTV put me on the map somewhat. And he just laughed at me and said, you would have put yourself on the map. But no, it was Jerry that put me on the map, because just being on JBTV is not something you sneeze at. It's a pretty big deal.
Welcome back to JBTV.
Here we are at the studios of JBTV.
Started out in my hometown.
To go back again 13 years later was great, because as soon as I walked through those doors into the studio, it didn't feel like 13 years. Jerry looked exactly the same. We just kind of picked up the friendship from where we left off from when I last saw him. And we just had a great time. We spent, I think we spent a good 5 or 6 hours in the studio that day. I'm sure it was a long session.
So we're world premiering
There you go,
your
yeah.
album right here on JBTV.
I'm nobody's fool, not even for you. I'll play the game when I'm here with you, but I'm nobody's fool.
We did a fourth show, which ended up being in 2007. And so we went in again, and my son was visiting at the time, and he's a great musician himself. So he appeared on that show with me.
My life has been one hell of a job, from place to place like a homeless dog. Made enough money to pay the rent, a little more for a loaf of bread.
Jerry Bryant is an amazing man, and he's such an inspiration to me. And I'm sure in this case I'm not the only musician or any guest he's had on his show that would say anything different. He is a genuine guy. And he'll be your friend forever. And this is my little tribute to Jerry.
In my hometown, lived alone with no one around. A single room with a single bed, with one blanket, no pillow for my head.
The blues greats. This is incredible. I'm like kneeling at the feet of the blues greatest artists of all time. I apologize, we only have one camera here, but this is Impromptu, and that's what the blues is all about. Impromptu music and having fun.